You sure you're ready for this?
I'll do my best.
Your best? Losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and the prom queen.
Welcome to the best soccer show. The best soccer show in the whole world.
Here we go! It's JD and the Rod, and we are back. The first ever show of this brand new edition of your favorite soccer people, the best soccer people. Jason Davis and Jared Dubois. My boy Jared, we are here. We made it. We somehow fired this thing back up. We got it out of mothballs or whatever. What do they do when they take a plane that hasn't flown in a long time? They put it in a hangar somewhere. You got to get it out. You got to dust it off. You got to make everything.
I
lots of
feel
lube.
like Rambo or someone like that when they come back, just a little bit older but just as badass.
Oh, there you go. It's exactly what that is. Like Rambo comes out of retirement, and that's where we are right now.
I've got more gray in my beard, but I'm just as salty.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just a little
It's
bit.
good to be back, man. Just to hear you say, here we go, man. Just to hear the opening, just to hear all that. It's been a long time coming. We've been teasing it for weeks. Special shout out for everyone that signed up for the Patreon already. If you don't know already, patreon.com/JD and the Rod. Everyone that's been in there helping out in the Slack. It's been a great community experience. People helping us test. People doing call-ins. Nick Suberling from Cincinnati Soccer. He's on the boards for us, running screening calls. It's been a great community effort so far. We couldn't have done it without all of you, and we're back, and we're happy to talk about what's going on in soccer in America tonight.
Okay, this is a couple of things, and we've done the test shows, but you never know. I want to be sure, I want to be clear that we are broadcasting live to the people. Can we get a confirmation on that? Just a bit of housekeeping before we charge forward and get into the soccer, which we haven't yet really given the people yet?
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna work that out. You're gonna tell me if we're going out live, because that's the whole point of this, right? We built the best soccer show and what we did based on these live shows. And we have a phone line, and we're doing that again. The phone line right there on the screen if you're watching on Twitch, 717-727-BEST. And I got to shout out Nick Suberling again for hooking us up with that badass phone number, Jared, because it's got best in it. How could you be any better than that? It's the best.
I mean, the only way it could be better if it was like 6'9" Rod JD or something like that. But I mean, this is pretty good too.
What would that even be? I mean, what would that mean?
I'm not saying that you and I got a special kind of love. That's what that means. Yin and the yang. You know, two people in 90-degree opposite positions of each other.
Jrodius.
Okay, this is the first one of those. I don't know how many we're going to get to. Somebody keep a running tally. That would be lovely if we could have that on the
also, we did a ton of test shows. My mic never had an issue, and for some reason tonight, we're having mic issues on my side. I don't know why.
It's like somebody doesn't want us to get back together. It's like somebody out there is putting bad mojo into the world and trying to keep us from being together.
It's some LAFC fan out there trying to take me down. You know, they've hacked my account.
That's not where I was going, but that's okay. You weren't following me. You weren't following along on the path I was going down. But that's fine. There are some LAFC fans out there, I'm sure. Still love you, even though you're obviously not a fan of their team and their work. And of course, we have that thing tomorrow. That's a huge game, man. I'm so glad that's tomorrow, not tonight. I would be out of sorts. Yes, it would be very hard for us to do this show and for Jared to follow along what was going on with that game at the very same time. And here I am. See, there's another thing that's happening right now. Just pull back the curtain. I'm working the board. I got to relearn the board. Let's just. Hold on. See, I just screwed it up.
Someone seems to think you have talent. But unfortunately, this is Los Angeles. I need more than talent. I need stars.
Oh, the stars are going to be out, Jared. The stars are going to be out in Los Angeles, California, Hollywood. It's going to be amazing.
I can't wait to see what a celebrity you've never seen at a soccer game will be at a soccer game tomorrow night, and I got to act like that's important to me.
You know who I should shout out here? And I have no idea if he'll listen to this. I know he listens to my radio show sometimes. Kevin Frazier. You know Kevin Frazier?
I don't know that I do.
Entertainment Tonight's Kevin Frazier.
Oh, yeah. I know who that is, yeah.
Yeah, he's a giant LAFC fan, Jared.
Oh, no, dude, no. Sorry, I don't know who it is. Never mind.
And he's a fan of mine, so I appreciate Kevin Frazier.
Is that why you wear their jerseys all the time and I have to look at it on Instagram?
All right, here's the thing. I don't have an LAFC jersey. What I own are some T-shirts that they threw in my direction because they're kind to your pal Jason, and they gave me free stuff.
Trying to indoctrinate you.
No, I take and wear free stuff, Jared. That's basically what I do now.
You're like a parasite that gets under your skin, like a tick.
No, wait, who is?
Damn, dog. Inappropriate.
LAFC Media. They come up with a logo that everyone likes, and it's like an infection.
Okay, how about this?
My kid's school is full of them, and none of them can name a player on the team. They just think it looks cool.
I told you that I was going to debut some new things for you, some new drops for you. This is a new show. It deserves new drops. We had some people, the Patreon Slack channels, giving us ideas. Jared, how about this? Just to give you're feeling left out. You're feeling like the spotlight has been stolen from your beloved LA Galaxy.
What sucks is that they're better than us. That's what I really hate.
Well, you do have this. You do have.
Is that for the Lion?
You do have Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and he's lighting.
When that sound is being made, is the Lion's arms up in the air, looking at everyone around him as if they're all the problem?
It's the MGM Lion, and yes, that's exactly what the MGM Lion is doing in that thing.
I mean, the Lion could run a little. I'm just saying.
The Lion could play a little defense. Here's the thing. This is what, if you know anything about nature, I don't know, you've probably watched Planet Earth on Netflix with your kids, right? Have you not?
I've tried to. My kids don't appreciate anything that's not anime.
Okay, but you don't watch it. You're not a fan of that. I'm a fan.
I've tried. I don't know. Sometimes it gets a little too disgusting for me.
Okay, well,
the world is gross.
Richard Attenborough and his English accent. And here's what you know about lions: the male lion doesn't do jack crap. He doesn't move. The female lions go out and hunt. Zlatan's not hunting. He's the male lion.
Are you calling Jonathan Dos Santos a female lion?
Well, you know what? I don't think that's necessarily a slight against Jonathan Dos Santos, who hits some absolute howitzers. And
that was a banger last week, man. Yeah. Oh my God. On the weekend. That wasn't even close to the best game of the weekend either. And by the way, we're live on a Wednesday night. Toronto FC just took down NYCFC. The Seattle game just kicked off. We got soccer going on live. So anyone out there with a take on the game so far tonight, feel free to call in 717-727-BEST. But in addition to that, amazing games this weekend. You're probably talked out of it a bit already, but
no, I mean,
I'm ready to do it.
No, I'm here with you. I want to talk about it. I will say about tonight's game, and give it up for Alejandro Pozuelo, who busted out the Panenka, the gigantic cojones on that guy.
It was kind of a Janenka, like it was kind of janky. It was off center.
That's brilliant. I think you're gonna have to save that one for future use. A Janenka. Okay, fine. He didn't hit it right down the center, but he did beat Sean Johnson, and they did win the game.
One big nut. I'll give him that.
It takes something. Now, TFC was the better team on the night. NYCFC gifted them goals. This ruined my perfect bracket, which I'm not necessarily all that broken up about, but I am surprised. I mean, they just no-showed this game. What happened to NYCFC? I'm not sure.
You know what? It was a weird. You could say that it's the ghost of the Mets going after the Yankees, but it's weird. I'm not sure what it was.
The Mets are dead.
What's that?
The Mets are dead. You just killed the Mets. They're ghosts now. Okay.
I mean, there's something. I mean, but I don't know. To me, it just looked like NYCFC was less interested and a level below all night long. It really did. Toronto FC won every second ball in midfield. Michael Bradley, for all you want to say, Michael Bradley hustled. He won balls. He didn't do anything that was magical in terms of ball distribution. Simple distribution, got it to the guys that are better than him at it, and he really marshaled that midfield.
Yeah.
So in a team without Josie Altidore and without Omar Gonzalez, I mean, I think those players, maybe just like the national team, maybe teams are better without him. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's still a chunk of cash. Toronto looked better. They played more like a team. They had a lot of inside-outside passing, and New York City FC seemed to lose the passing lanes.
Yeah.
Toronto was in every passing lane, 1 and 2 touch passes. It was often 6-7 passes around the outside to find the entry ball into the middle. And they were just running in circles. And there was what they seemed to lack was someone in that defensive midfield that could stop the ball.
Mm. Yeah, remember that throwback to this. which we once upon a time bestowed upon Michael Bradley. I don't think
he's a Michael Bradley. Is there a different Sade song that would be better for him now?
Is there a Sade song about your legs going out and age catching up with you? And is there a Sade song about that? Like, oh, my legs hurt. No, I don't think there is one.
Yeah, we're gonna think of something else. It's got to be some kind of like Smash Now song or something. I don't know. Something that's really clanky.
Well, he got it done. Look, he got it done tonight, as you said, and TFC, give Greg Vanny credit. I mean, he had his team prepared to play, and they,
give Greg Vanny credit that somehow this guy sneakily became the best looking, best dressed coach in MLS. How did that happen?
You think that's snuck? Do you think that's a sneaky situation that snuck up on people?
Yeah. Here's the thing. He's overtaken Ben Olsen. Well, Ben Olsen was always good.
Okay.
He's overtaken Mike Pecky, who's out of a job now.
Well, that's Mike Pecky's off the board at the moment, so he doesn't. Yeah. And by the way, let's.
Damn, dog, that's an approach.
Shout out to Mike Pecky, who I generally speaking like, but damn, man, control yourself. That's all I'm going to say. Control yourself. Go ahead.
What do you do?
What did Mike Pecky do?
I don't know. You know me. Listen, full disclosure, guys, I haven't cared about soccer for about 3 years other than Galaxy games.
All right, let's see. Mike Pecky got in trouble during
I know about the back in the day, like a couple months ago. I thought you meant he did something this week.
No, why would I be talking about this week? I'm talking about in general. We haven't been on the air since Mike Pecky did what he did with the referee in the Leagues Cup that nobody actually cares about. That's all I'm saying. That's all.
Okay, all right. I get you then.
He's not necessarily he's not an MLS at the moment, which I think is where your rankings were focused. But where does this guy?
So feel respect for the Gegner.
Where does Jesse Marsch rank on your list at the moment?
It's so hard to say because I mean, if you're watching every moment of a Red Bull game in Germany, then you're a better man than me.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not. He's obviously kind of
if anyone, not just you, if anyone out there is doing that, you're a better man than me. I don't have the time, but I can tell you this: when I watched that speech, I mean, all of a sudden, it was like a scene from Braveheart. Man, I felt like I could lift my kilt and do anything.
I mean, he's got that energy about him. He's speaking the German.
Just the German words as like punctuation. I don't even know what they meant. They felt like punctuation to me, and they all said, "Go out there and kill someone."
How about this?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
People I know that speak German said that he was on point, even with the way he was using his emphasis and everything on the German words. I couldn't tell you. It sounded awesome to me.
I heard it was like he was being very specifically Austrian German, which I don't know the differences. I guess that's like Texas and normal.
That's like
American
saying hella in California, like, oh, you're so Northern California.
Okay. I mean, I don't know the differences, the regional dialects in California. I can tell you.
Is that a thing in Virginia? Do you guys have that in Virginia?
Basically, if you go more than an hour south of D.C., everybody talks with a southern accent. Basically, that's what happens. I mean,
really?
Yeah, it
devolves that quickly, huh?
Well, it depends. Okay, there are pockets and there are exurbs, of course, of D.C., but you don't have to go very far before it gets real south real fast, is all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying that's the situation. That's what's going on.
In the hierarchy of coaches' attire and fashion sense, where does Luchi Gonzalez come in? Because he is close.
Oh, I think Luchi Gonzalez is. Yeah, he's a dark horse. I mean, how much do you rate the longevity, and how much do you care about the team's sexiness? Because overall, FC Dallas is sexy, but in a way that's almost inappropriate that we shouldn't talk about.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's like if they were a section on like RedTube, it would be the barely legal section.
Oh, would you look at that? An absolute firecracker.
Okay, that's a little too much there. I think Lucci, but that's on a team that gets a big number for attendance in Frisco, Texas. They I'm a fan, but I'm a soccer nerd and I'm an MLS nerd. So for anybody who doesn't really pay much attention, they're going, oh, Luchi Gonzalez, FC Dallas, man, look at those threads. He's really.
Listen, I'll just say this: I'm not sure if he's the best dressed or not. He's up there.
I wouldn't be caught dead in a sweater vest.
Okay,
that is a damn good looking man.
Okay, Jared's on point already.
Well, I'm a 42-year-old man. Okay, I'm starting to appreciate a little salt and pepper, and I'm not talking about like back in the day, 90s.
Are you capable of saying that word without dropping the R at the end of it? I mean, I understand what you mean, but the band with the group from the 90s.
What? I don't have enough credit to say Peppa?
I don't know. I don't know if you do.
Well, first of all, the band didn't have an R in it.
No, she didn't. No, her name was Peppa. You're right. Her name was Peppa, but you weren't saying, oh, ooh, push it or whatever.
I work on levels you can't understand.
Okay. Yeah, I know you do. And that's why we're back here together.
But Lucha Gonzalez, oh my God, that's a good looking man. I'm sad his team's out just because he's one of the few coaches that's as sexy as his team, the way they play. But Dallas game, oh my God, that Dallas game was fantastic. Seattle obviously playing in the next leg currently, but Seattle Sounders FC, I am not convinced. I don't know about you. I am not convinced.
Well, they have defensive issues. Chad Marshall having to retire, and he was forced to by the injuries and the concussions. It was a big blow to them. Roman Torres is a bull at a china shop. Kimke, he's decent, but he's not.
He just dribbled the ball out of bounds.
I know. That's why I was bringing him up, because he flat out dribbled the ball out of bounds without any pressure on him.
He's not what you call a possession defender.
Now, Seattle has hit the crossbar, and they had a free kick that Nick Ladero had saved. I think it was probably going to miss wide, but Nick Romando got down on it and kept it out. So we will keep an eye on Seattle and RSL as that's going on, especially for you live people. The phone lines are open. We got a phone line. It is 717-727-BEST. Best. I don't know what numbers those are on your telephone, but you should be able to figure it out. I think it's, hold on, let me do this, Jared. It's 2-3-6-7. Is that right?
That's painful to listen to.
No, is that wrong? Okay, somebody tell me.
If you don't know, you shouldn't say it.
No, you're right. I shouldn't say it. It's 717-727-BEST. Maybe I'll put it in numbers when we get.
And I'll say this too, for the people that are listening to this as the podcast after the fact, which is going to be the majority of our audience. You feel free to call that number anytime during the week as well. Leave us a voicemail. Maybe tomorrow night celebrating the Galaxy victory. Feel free. If you wanted to talk about anything as well, not just MLS tonight. Anyone out there wants to talk U.S. national team? Obviously, that's something you and I made our bread and butter. That was our bread and butter for a number of years. Feel free, give us a call. I've got takes on it.
It's more like bread and lard at this point. Like, we're not even getting that good butter. Like, we're getting
bread and manteca, man. It's not good.
Yeah,
they use manteca down in Puerto Rico.
The
lard,
the word means fat like that, but okay. I don't know how much.
What are we doing?
I don't know how much it's. There's my mother-in-law is here at my house. My in-laws are here.
Be careful what you say.
We may have to talk about my whole situation. I'm just saying, at some point we may have to. I may need to let go of some things based on what's going on in my personal life, Jared. I don't know how much you guys want to hear about this.
Ooh.
Well, I think I've told people. I certainly told you, Jared. I just bought a house, right? My first house.
Congratulations. And you still haven't peed on the ground, have you?
I have peed outside.
Nice. That's when you rushed. That's like a baptism for a house.
Yeah, but I'm also scared. Like, is it going to leak into the basement? Like, you got to worry about these things.
Oh, you don't deserve a house.
So my wife and I got married last year. We bought a house. It's a house. It's an old house. It was built in the 50s. The woman who lived here, that we bought it from, she was 98 before she just moved into a
she's the original owner?
I'm guessing. I'm not sure. I'm going to tell you that there was wallpaper everywhere. I'm currently sitting in a basement that has wood paneling all over the walls.
Oh, does there popcorn ceiling too?
No popcorn ceilings. I got a drop ceiling in the basement that's actually not in bad shape. It's old, but it looks okay. It's better than some of the other drop ceilings I've seen. But we're doing a full-on remodel. Like, it's happening right now.
You're going to have a full-on Sirius XM studio in the basement?
That's the plan, but I gotta have money left, and I also have to have a place to actually put my bedroom and a bathroom to use, because there was one bathroom in this house. My wife decided she wanted more bathrooms, and now we're currently working on 3 bathrooms. And we just moved in.
I mean, you can only duke in one at a time. I mean, why do you need so many?
But she also she wants to rotate. Like, she wants to go from room to room.
she's like the general manager of the team or something. Like, you got to rotate positions.
Something like that. I mean, I don't know. Something like that. You mentioned the national team. I mean, how much should we do here? How much should we?
I can vent for an hour.
The horror show.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Give it up for Ian Dark, though, man. Not holding back on the call the other night.
Well, why would he hold back? Because he's been around this team for 8 years, or whatever it is?
Some people will say that commentators' position is not to put their personal stamp on things. It's more the analyst color guy, and even then, it's probably sometimes not approved. But I like it. I like it. Have a take.
You mean this guy?
What are we doing?
That guy. That guy's.
Technically, he didn't say that on the air during a game either. That was on a show where he was supposed to be giving an opinion.
Sure.
So, I mean, obviously that's good. And I still like it either way. I think he's right in that regard. And just like Alexi was right when he did his same version of that a while back, a few years ago. I like my personalities to actually have a personality. Imagine that. But what I see is Gregg Berhalter has I'm assuming no control over this team. The rumors that are coming out from the Yedlin camp, going back to Newcastle, about how excited he was to get back and get out of the national team camp.
Yeah.
The dealing with Christian Pulisic, as if anyone believes the BS that's coming out about that.
What do you mean? What BS?
His flu and they all the different kind of things,
right.
Reason why he can't go, and it's obvious he wasn't happy. It's obviously that the star player on the team isn't happy. Now, granted, I think Berhalter does need to give him a dose of reality because the kid, I feel, kind of needs it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, in front of the entire audience, you just decimated this guy.
Yeah, I don't know, by the way.
There sits Wonder Boy.
That's the drop we've got for Christian Pulisic at the moment. I might work that out a little bit. I got a couple, though. You mentioned Wonder Boy. That was your call, right?
No, there's a different part of that song where he goes, Wonder Boy.
Hold on.
That's the one. That's the one.
That's the one. I also had this suggestion. Little angelic, choral.
No, you gotta earn that.
You think he's okay? So he hasn't earned that one yet.
He's got no stigmata. That guy ain't done nothing yet.
Stigmata? What do you said anything about stigmata?
A sign of saintdom, if one type of like sign of saintdom, and he hasn't earned that yet.
I understand. All right, you ready? You ready to get into what we got going on here?
Well, here's one of my takes on the U.S. national team.
All right.
My take, and it's very well displayed in the two games against Mexico.
Yeah.
The first being the Gold Cup final.
Uh-huh.
In that game, you have the Mexican midfielder, sounds like a pirate, a conquistador's name, Pizarro.
Okay, yeah, Pizarro, yeah. There's a winger.
First half of that game.
Plays in multiple attacking positions, but go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, first half of that game, Reggie Cannon is destroying the right side of that field. And Pizarro can't do anything because Reggie Cannon has him pinned going forward constantly and gives him defensive duties.
Right.
The difference between Berhalter and Tata Martino is Tata Martino makes an adjustment. Berhalter pounds his head doing the same thing for 90 minutes and tells his team, make this work.
Yeah.
Pizarro switched to the other side.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Reggie Cannon is getting marked up by a better defender. Pizarro now is up against our left back, which is our worst position on the field. And he has a field day the second half, and he ends up being the catalyst for the win against the U.S. in the Gold Cup final.
Yeah.
And Berhalter changes nothing. I'm not saying he doesn't sub. He doesn't tactically change. Look at the games, the last few games leading up to the most recent ones, where over and over again, we watch them fail to play the ball out of the back. Fail to play the ball out of the back.
Yeah.
Same thing over and over again. It's at Stefan's feet more than any midfielder in the game.
Yeah.
And they can't get it out. And instead of adjusting, changing something, even just do 2 out of every 6 balls. Punt it out. See what happens differently. Give it a different look.
Have you ever?
You make it too easy.
You ever played that party game where you have to wear oven mitts and try to accomplish some task? That's what it looks like when they're out there, when they're trying to play out of the back and they can't. All right, we got a bunch of calls here. I want to get to some people. JR in Ohio, you're on. JD in the Rod. What's up, JR?
Yo, how's it going? Big fan. Just real quick, am I the first caller of the reboot?
You are the official. You're the first caller on the first official show of the reboot.
Let's go.
All right, JR, go, man, go.
That makes me feel good. I want to make a T-shirt about that, kind of like FC Cincinnati. First point, first caller.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Is he calling from Dirty Toledo?
He is calling from Ohio. Are you from Dirty Toledo, JR?
Nah. Go to school outside of Columbus.
Okay. All right. Columbus is cleaner.
I am a fan of Toledo. Great spot.
Okay, JR. What else you got for us?
I want to talk about Gregg Berhalter. You guys kind of already touched about it, but man, I'm freaking out about this guy. Let me phrase it this way: if you were in charge of the USMNT, would you fire him right here, right now? That's my question. Final question.
It's a question that I feel like I have a simple answer to, but the honest part of it is that there's a financial aspect that I don't have the reality of. And I would say if I was looking at just purely based off tactics.
Wait, what? That's
we already sunk $4 million or something into getting rid of Klinsmann.
I understand that. That's really what you're saying. That at this point, after missing a World Cup, I understand they lost a bunch of money, but you don't just keep. This is the sunk cost fallacy situation. I'm gonna let JR go. This is the sunk cost fallacy that you spent money already, so you just got to keep going. I've been listening to all these podcasts about MLMs, and this is an MLS thing too because MLS is sponsored by a bunch of MLMs with their team shirt sponsors. But MLMs, people, I spent $1,000 on Amway, and then I realized it's a scam, or I realized I'm not making any money, but I got to keep going because I've already spent $1,000, and now you're just wasting more time and more money. That's what I feel about Gregg Berhalter right now. That's where I'm at, Jared. Like, why are we going to keep dumping money? I understand it's not actual money. I'm talking about time. But why are we going to keep spending time with a guy who clearly doesn't get it?
Well, the other aspect of it that I don't have a good vision of is what was Ernie Stewart's list of demands for Gregg Berhalter? Was it just simply get back to the World Cup? Was it get back to the World Cup and also redo our entire style of play and adopt a new system? If that's the case, he's doing half of that right now. And I don't know what his expectation is. Now, for me personally, I'm not interested in that. Do that at the youth level.
Okay, well,
put Gregg Berhalter in charge of the U17s.
I feel like you're dodging.
Start there.
I feel like you're dodging because what he said was, if it was you, would you fire him? And you're like,
I would fire him. I would fire him.
You would, or you wouldn't?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I would.
That's what I want to hear. That's the fire.
Jrodius.
They should have hired Tata Martino a year ago and not been worried about the fact he doesn't speak good English.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. No, there's 100%.
You know who didn't speak good English? Bor Milutinovic.
Yeah. By the way, this when as soon as we got this show back going, the first thought I had was, I don't know that we ever were. Maybe we were. Maybe under in the Klinsmann years or sometime, obviously ahead of failing to qualify for the World Cup, but I can't remember when we went off the air ahead of that. But I was thinking, had we ever actually...
We are at DEFCON 1. DEFCON 1?
Had we ever actually used DEFCON 1? Like, had we ever gotten to the point where it was and look...
Well, we would have, but we went off the air very shortly before we missed the World Cup.
That's true. That's a good point. All right, let's go to Scott in Texas. Scott, you're on GD and the Rod, man. What's up?
Hey, I'm really happy you guys are back. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time.
That's great,
Glad
man.
to be back, homie.
Yeah, what you got for us?
Hey, so I'm an Orlando City fan, and I'm also a U.S. men's national team fan. I'm just wondering, which one should I be more depressed about?
All right, Jared, this is a perfect...
I was going to say sorry.
Oh, here we go. This is the literal definition of pick your poison. One of them is bad, the other one is bad. Pick a bad one, Jared. Pick one.
Yeah, man. It's like I surely can't pick the poison in front of me. Let's see. I would say Orlando, and here's why. Because the U.S. men's national team, I think, could be solved with a potential coaching change. I don't know that Orlando is in the same place.
So you're saying because you have to fix the players and the coach in Orlando?
Yeah. I think situation. And I'm not totally convinced on U.S. players either. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh, sure.
But I know that they're being forced into a certain style that I don't know that they're capable of doing. If you went back and you put Bob Bradley's double bucket midfield in there, the U.S. could compete. I feel the U.S. has the players to compete with that system. Is it fun? No, it's not fun. Is it make you feel good at the end of the day, like you did something classy? No. But it's an American style of play I identify with and has gotten us results in the past, and I feel like the U.S. could do that tomorrow if they had to.
Right.
Orlando's got more work to do than that. Right. I don't even know what their identity is. Uh-huh. You've got to solve a lot of player issues. And you have a coaching issue. I don't know. And tell me I know you're in Texas, so I'm not sure if you get to go to the games at all or anything like that. What does the Orlando fan base feel about what's going on there?
We're just really depressed about the ownership because we just fired our third coach in 5 years. There's no patience. We feel that, Jock, he was rebuilding, but now it seems like we're just starting all over again. And they're saying maybe Pareja's coming down the pipeline, fingers crossed, but that's not
sexy.
A promised thing. So we have no idea.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, look, thanks for the call, Scott.
If you're a coach, if you're Pareja, do you want to take that job? I mean, it's nice to be in Florida.
Yeah. Well, they've been linked to, I think they've been linked to a couple of people. And I
do you feel bad at any point for Jason Kreis? He takes 2 expansion jobs in a row, doesn't get it done. All of a sudden, he's a pariah.
Well, he didn't. So they weren't an expansion team when he took over. Adrian Heath had been there before, but I understand what you're saying.
Okay, but you know what I mean. Like, it's Adrian Heath lasted what? Even last a full season?
Yeah, he lasted a full season. Did he?
Okay.
Yeah, I think, obviously Jason Christ.
But look at him now with Minnesota. Was he the problem? I don't know.
Well, Minnesota got some better players. Minnesota got better because they signed Ike Opara and Ozzie Alonso. That's why they got better. Yeah, some of that's Adrian Heath, I guess. Give him some credit there. But they signed 2 of the best defensive players.
Minnesota's better because they signed a journeyman center back that's always been fairly decent. But
he won Defensive Player of the Year. Ike Opara is one of the best defenders in the league. Ozzie Alonso's not what he used
otherwise.
to be. No, I'm just saying.
And Ozzie Alonso's on the back end of his career, too.
No, I understand that. He's not what he was 5 years ago, but we're still talking about 2 very good players and veterans.
You got teams around the league that are buying expensive players from all their places and can't make things work. I mean, give Heath some credit.
No,
he took 2 established MLS products and took a team to the playoffs.
Okay. I'm giving Adrian Heath some credit. Otherwise, he'll probably, yell about us in the media, which actually would be good for our rep. So, Adrian Heath, we're coming after you. I don't know. I think Minnesota was sort of always due to reach a decent level. I mean, what did they finish? 4th? Okay, that's decent. I mean, I don't know. What do you want?
From where they were last year, that's a really amazing finish, to be honest with you.
It is. And he didn't get
playing half the season on the road to start, I believe, right?
That was I can't remember how many games they have. It wasn't that many. It wasn't like Portland. All right, let's go to the phone lines again. Smitty and Breezy, which I don't know. You guys doing morning talk radio? What's going on in Chattanooga? What's up, guys?
I mean, we're both named Andrew, and we live next door to each other, so you got to have something to differentiate.
That's like a sitcom.
It is. Yeah, the 2 Andrews. No, tonight on ABC.
It could be a sitcom.
There you go. What do you guys got?
I mean, I take the check for sure. So, we've already kind of talked about the national team a little bit, and we're both pretty heated still from the Canada result. So, you guys already talked. We're kind of set on no more Gregg. But, what do you think Ernie is doing right now, and what's his role in this? And then who do we replace Gregg with?
Like literally, what is Ernie doing right now? Like, I don't know if like a window into his personal life, Jared.
I'm not sure about that. But what I think is happening is I think he's hoping that he ends up being right, and he's going to sit on his palms. I think he's going to sit on his palms. Okay. I really do.
Well, okay, so
I don't think he's going to do anything, because here's the thing. This is the guy. The first thing he had to do was get this right, and it took him 9 months to do it. How long was it?
To hire Gregg Berhalter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, he got the job. He took the job on August 1st, and they hired Berhalter on like December something. And he had been hired, but Ernie had been hired before that and stuck it out in Philadelphia for a little while longer. So
yeah,
I mean, look, they screwed up the timing all over the place.
This was his call to make. I think that listen. If Ernie is able to put his ego aside and admit this is wrong, he's a better man than I think most men are. Because I think that's a hard pill to swallow. You were hired to do one thing, and you're going to admit that you failed on the first try. If he does it, that's awesome.
He got a promotion, right?
What's there more to be promoted to? Was he the Jesus of soccer?
He was the general manager of the U.S. men's national team, and now he is the sporting director of U.S. soccer. Like I think he's over.
What do these things mean, though?
Nothing.
Honestly,
nothing. They mean absolutely nothing.
Can you tell me what that org chart looks like?
Yeah, it's a mess. And this is what I was thinking about, because I don't work in corporate America anymore. Although I'm working for a corporation, but I don't deal with any of that stuff. Right? I'm not a guy who has a desk and comes in and goes to meetings. But I was thinking about when I was, and my wife is going through this now at work, the people at the top, they have to justify their existence by reorganizing everything every year. Every 2 years, it's like, we got a new org chart out. Why? Why did you put another guy between me and that boss?
Justify their job, because someone just got hired and was hired to a change agent. Yeah. And the first thing they do is they change the names of the roles that people do and slightly tweak who they report to. And all of a sudden, they're a change agent.
Yeah.
Guess what? You didn't do nothing.
Yeah, you're the executive vice president of bullcrap and tiddlywinks. Like, congratulations.
And, my man Nick Suberling is telling us that from Twitch chat. So, obviously, if you don't ever pay attention to esports, never trust Twitch chat. But from ours, it's saying Ernie and Gregg were in Amsterdam to watch Ajax and potentially target Dest. If they're not, that's what they should be there. Sure. I mean, willing to do anything to get him.
I saw a picture. He took a picture with a kid who plays for Ajax's youth team, an American who doesn't have a choice between two national teams. Obviously, there's Dest. Also, they were playing Chelsea today, so of course Christian Pulisic was on the field for Chelsea. So there's some maintenance there too. Even though you have Pulisic in the fold, you still want to go and watch him play and see how he does. And he did help set up that goal for Chelsea to win that game, which, again...
I mean, people are making him out to be the savior because that... I mean, listen, first of all, I think really good job. He took him on, got the ball in the middle. That's awesome.
What he does, though.
That's what he's supposed to do. But here's the thing. People are hanging Dest out to dry, and I don't think he played poor defense on that play. He got unlucky that the ball went through his legs there. He was in the right position.
Yeah, I'm going to have to come up with something for... Well, I guess if he chooses the Netherlands, I don't need to come up with something for Dest. Breezy and Smitty, got anything else for us?
No, I think that's it. Thanks, fellas.
All right.
Wait, who am I talking to? Am I talking to Smitty or Breezy? I don't know which one we're talking to.
Yeah, you guys need to hi, this is Smitty, et cetera, et cetera. This is Breezy, et cetera, et cetera.
Or do we?
I don't know what that was. Okay,
or do we?
Or do we need to do that? No, you don't. You're right. You don't need to.
We're not going to play your games, Davis.
Yeah, that's what I'm here. That's what I'm here for. All right, 717-727
Moose Machine
2378. It's 2378, which is not what I said. And now when I think about it, of course it's 2378. I might have used that 2378 because it is best for other aspects of my life. I can't believe I completely forgot.
So we know your PIN number now?
You don't actually know my PIN number. It's not that.
Okay.
No, it's not that.
Also, from the Moose Machine in the Twitch chat, Pulisic was great today for Chelsea. I didn't get a chance to watch. I have a job.
Yeah.
Jason, you tell me, how did he look?
He's a game changer off the bench, and I don't know that there's any reason to think that Lampard's going to change that right now.
Here's the messed up part about that. The more you do well in that role, the more it becomes yours.
Yeah. And there's all this talk.
AC Green.
There's all this talk about how he's got to do better in training, and Lampard's a guy who really likes to see guys do well in training. I don't know why Lampard's doing what he's doing, but none of it's none of it's crazy. As much as I want Christian Pulisic to succeed because he's an American and because it'd be good for the national team on some level and good for soccer in the United States, it's not like Frank Lampard's doing something that's indefensible, Jared. He's just using the pieces he's got.
Can I do some show running, live on the air as I'm thinking about it? For Christian Pulisic, instead of the chimes and angel music, have you ever seen the fantastic movie?
It should be a harp. You're right. It should be like the harp sound.
No, that's not what I'm going with. But it should be a harp though. Have you ever seen Empire of the Sun? Steven Spielberg movie when Christian Bale was a kid.
I don't think so. What happens in that movie?
Fantastic movie, first of all. He's a kid. He's a British expat in China when World War II breaks out. I'm sorry, in China, and Japanese invade China, and he ends up being put into POW camps and stuff like that as a child. So, anyway,
maybe
fantastic movie. Absolutely fantastic movie. But there, John... Man, who's the guy? John Malkovich. He's in that movie, and there's this part about hey kid, want a Hershey bar? That's the Pulisic drop. Hershey, baby.
No, that's not the drop. No, I'm gonna veto that one. No, I'm sorry. I mean, look, this one is okay.
That is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
You can't really go wrong with Tenacious D, so that's okay. We'll figure something out. He's got to earn it. Like you said, there's a bunch of have to earn it situations here, and I may have come up with a couple of things. There may be some stuff on the board from back in the day that remains that maybe those people don't deserve. I mean, we have this one,
Michael freaking Arasco Fiscal
from Mike in Philly, which we've identified him as the originator. And by the way, I completely spaced on clipping up the new version he did for us, which is lovely.
He left us he left us a great audio file with a new version of that.
Yeah, in fact, you know what? Speak of the devil, we'll put him on the air right now. Mike in Philly, what's up, man?
Hey, welcome back, guys.
Appreciate that. So how you wanted to talk Ernie Stewart because you obviously have an intimate relationship with Mr. Stewart from your time in Philadelphia.
Intimate?
Yeah.
He agreed. He said yes.
Guys, if you think he's going to own up to an error and not think he's the smartest guy in the room and ever admit he's wrong, you are so wrong. Because that guy, I mean, despite whatever he did for the national team back in the day, that dude is a pompous a-hole.
Okay.
And that is my personal opinion.
Well, maybe, look.
And his time with
Mike,
the Union.
Maybe he's just in that very Dutch way. Maybe he's just very direct, and that makes him seem like an a-hole, but he's not. He's just very to the point. He's blunt. Blunt.
I mean, so if he's thinking Berhalter's the right guy, he's rolling a blunt.
I think he has a hard time admitting when he's wrong, and I think he's
so he's a male.
You know, very very tunnel vision in terms of he thinks this way is the right way, and he's going to stick to it. I mean,
the problem I think at U.S. Soccer is that it's an echo chamber, Jared. There's not a lot. I mean, look, we try here. I try on the radio. People are yelling on Twitter. Do you think Ernie Stewart or Gregg Berhalter or Jay Berhalter or anybody there at Soccer House cares? Do you think they pay attention at all to any of that stuff? They don't need to.
They don't even pay attention to the Glassdoor ratings. They're not paying attention to this.
No. They only pay attention to the Glassdoor ratings because it made them look bad, and they got to cover their butts in order to I don't know what, just that protectionist mode that everybody goes into, super defensive mode. You ever seen an MLS team have to deal with anything public relations wise? It's a disaster. It's like a tire fire.
Yeah, it's nasty. It's no fun. I don't know. I don't know that Ernie Stewart has the ability to make this change. Like I said, I'll be impressed actually if he does. If he does, it tells me that he is able to edit. He's able to actually to affect change, as we said earlier. That shows me your change agent. If you're truly a change agent, which is what U.S. Soccer needed and what he was hired to do, he needs to make this move. Make a change with the agent in charge of the head coaching position right now.
Finish him. I mean, he's not going to do it. This is what I'm unclear on. Is with this reorg, with the fact that they're going to be hiring a new CEO, and everybody assumes it's going to be Jay Berhalter, and we'll see. That's a disaster waiting to happen. I get the sense that it's not actually Ernie's choice to make, Jared. Like, why would we believe that Ernie Stewart has that power? There's supposed to be a board, first of all, that does approve hirings like the head coach of the national teams. But I don't know that he gets to really say. Like, he can maybe say, I don't know if Gregg's working out. But I don't think that's the case. Like, I think it's going to ultimately be the CEO because U.S. Soccer is organized in a way that puts all the decision-making power in that guy's hands, whoever that is. Dan Flynn before, now maybe Jay Berhalter.
I don't understand. Like I said, I don't understand the hierarchy of U.S. Soccer. I don't understand who's in charge of what. And to be honest with you, I don't think any of them do because it's a cluster. It's a tire fire, and the players know it. You can see it in their eyes. Mm-hmm. They're not interested. I think they're interested in playing for their country. I really do. I think they're interested in making the World Cup. I think they care, but I think they are not passionate because they don't believe and what's being set up around them. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I don't necessarily blame them, but if they're not careful, at some point, the fans are going to start looking past Berhalter, and they're going to be out for blood with the players. Because at the end of the day, if you don't look like you are playing for the crest, the end of that Canada game, the whole second half of that Canada game looked like the whole second half of that Trinidad and Tobago game.
Yeah. By the way,
11 players not interested.
Speaking of blood, tell me what you think of this.
This is the old days, man, the bad days, the all or nothing days. They're back. There's no choices left, and I'm ready for war.
What do you think of that?
What's that from?
That's from Sin City. That's Mickey Rourke in Sin City.
Oh, I've only seen that movie one time.
I forgot how wild that movie, how weird that movie is. The way the visuals look in that.
I love the way it was shot.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a beautiful movie to look at. But I can't remember anything of the plot or anything like that.
Yeah, no, it's because it's vignettes and you lose the threads and you're like, oh, was that Mickey Rourke or Bruce Willis or who else was in these movies? I mean, Jessica Alba.
What's the last movie you paid a ticket to see?
That's a good. Oh, I think it was probably in Endgame. I went to Endgame with my kid.
Wow, that might be the last one I did too. That was a ways back. Huh?
That's 6 months ago.
I also saw that one. What was that one with Beanie? What's her name? Dang it!
Oh my
Jonah
gosh.
Hill's sister.
Jonah Hill's sister is in movies?
Yeah, she's Beanie. I can't think what her name is, but it's about two girls. It's basically.
Oh, I remember. I know. I almost clicked that on the plane when it's coming back from Vegas.
Funny. It's actually funny. You should watch it. But it's basically super bad with girls.
Right. I have heard about that. Well, I can't remember the name of that movie either. Somebody in the chat's going to hook us up with that.
It's something about smart girls or something like that. I can't remember what it is. Yeah, but that's a good flick. And also, I think maybe I told you this. The best movie I've seen at home recently. Mm-hmm. Funniest movie. I loved it. Is the Man, I'm trying to think of it. It's one with Charlize Theron and Seth Rogen.
Oh, you like that? Yeah. Man, I can't remember the name of that movie. My wife wants to see that movie, and
I laughed more out loud at that than I have for any movie in a long time.
The Underdog, something like that. I don't know. I like Seth Rogen, but he's the same guy in every movie, I guess. And it's
okay. That guy is funny.
I get it. Charlize Theron, I can dig. I like her a lot. She comes off very relatable, even though she's
long shot. That's what it's called.
The long shot. She's very relatable, or she seems very approachable, despite the fact that she's like insanely hot, like insanely beautiful. Like it's. Yeah,
have you seen her transform into Megyn Kelly in that movie?
No,
she looks just like Megyn Kelly, dude. It's ridiculous.
That's scary to me. I don't know if I really want that. Like
Danger Zone.
I think Megyn Kelly looks like she's going to eat my brain with she's going to crack.
Oh,
open
you know
my
what
skull.
news happened today? We haven't talked about.
What's that?
World Cup 2044 is secure, son.
What?
Women's World Cup. Alex Morgan's having a baby.
That's right, Alex Morgan and Servando Carrasco.
So here's the question, man: is she going to
Carrasco.
get those Carrasco defensive genes or those Alex Morgan offensive genes?
That's a good question. Well, it's a little girl. We know that.
Baby Philly.
I think. Yeah, I guess so. Right? Because baby horse, baby Philly. I guess.
Yeah, I get. I think I think the better one. I mean, it's unfortunate. It sounds like she's from Philadelphia. No one wants that.
Baby. Okay. I was like, well, what kind of names are they considering? Like, I wonder what they're bouncing around right now. Like, I'm not up on the baby name trends at the moment.
Well, here's the thing: is Alex Morgan going to change now to Carrasco? You think? Because like baby Carrasco was on all the signs and everything like that they were in their pictures.
Well, here's what this happens occasionally with like actresses and stuff. They'll get married, they'll change their name, but they'll still go professionally by their maiden name. And I wonder. Yeah. I mean, there are women players who have changed.
Sydney
their name.
LaRue's now LaRue Dwyer, correct?
I think technically speaking, and then Julie Ertz is Julie Ertz because she got married. So, at this point, I'm not even sure I remember Julie Ertz.
Parlow changed.
Yeah. Well, yes. Right. I just actually had I was just on the radio talking to Michelle Akers, who used to be Michelle Akers Stoll. So,
I'm kind of jealous because that's like one of my favorite people of all time.
Oh no, she's awesome. But she called all of her old teammates by their maiden names, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, I get that. Like for her, that's who they are. They're not. They haven't changed. That's their. You know what she's doing, by the way? Do you know what Michelle Akers?
It real is what she's doing.
You think Michelle Akers is keeping it? Oh, with the names.
Yeah.
You know what else she's doing?
What's she doing?
She's selling all her stuff, man. She's selling all her medals and her awards and her trophies because she's got an animal rescue, like a horse rescue.
Yeah, I knew she was doing a lot of stuff with animals. Is that how she's funding it?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I believe that's.
It's both unfortunate and cool.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was a really awkward conversation to be like, so you're selling all your really cool stuff. Why exactly? And then she says, oh, animal rescue, whatever. And I'm like, oh, that's great. But also, this stuff should be in a Hall of Fame somewhere.
Is it too much to ask, Jason? I'm pounding my desk as I say this.
Okay.
Is it too much to ask for a warrior spirit like Michelle Akers in the men's game? Where's our Michelle Akers?
Yeah, there's a lot of theories.
Where's our Julie Ertz?
A lot of
where's our warrior spirit? We haven't had that. So what, Brian McBride? Was that the last warrior spirit we had?
Look.
Jermaine Jones. Jermaine Jones had it.
And Jermaine Jones had it. MB90 had it when he was younger. And
Who has it now, though?
I
Who's
think
getting stuck in on the national team?
Well, okay. There's a difference between having a warrior mentality and going all out and just charging into the fight and not having any sense of the consequences and kind of being a bull in a china shop.
The guys on our team are worried about smearing their tattoos.
Okay. I was going to say Weston McKennie. I actually do think Weston McKennie has it, but I don't think he's disciplined. He's a little bit Jermaine Jones, but even less disciplined maybe because he's younger. Where you just don't know what you're going to get out of Weston McKennie. Like, he could be the best player on the field, he could be everywhere, or he could be everywhere and not get on the ball, or not make smart decisions.
I think Weston McKennie has a little bit of that, like Deuce did, but I don't think it's at that same level we're talking about with Michelle Akers, Jermaine Jones, Brian McBride. I think Deuce had some of that. I think McKinney's in that same vein.
You sound really old right now. Like, you sound like an old man complaining. Oh, things were better back in my day. Like, that's how you sound right now.
No, come on, dude. Look at that team, man. You show me where the fight is in that team. Oh, Seattle almost just scored.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's Raul Diaz in front of goal. Couldn't get it past Nick Romano.
No one's going to get past Nick Romano in his last season. Come on, baby. That guy's from the IE.
Yeah, he's speaking of fashion, what do you think about the turtleneck on Mr. Romano?
I want to support him. I really do, but I understand his pain because as a California boy, these temperatures suck.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do, Nick. You do you.
Yeah. Okay. Michelle Akers.
Warrior Spirit.
I think there's a lot of theories bouncing around about why we lack.
5 women on the U.S. women's team that have warrior spirit that are like America, the best version, like Peter Jennings, the greatest generation America.
Yeah, but isn't that just
and
a
I can't do that on the U.S. men's team.
Isn't that just a function?
So feel respect for the Gegner.
Isn't that just a function of them winning? Like if they weren't winning.
Yeah. You know what it is, because if you work hard, sometimes you win games. That's what this team needs to learn.
I understand. What I'm saying is that it's a results-based analysis situation. You see a winning team and go, oh, they have all this fight. You see a losing team and go, they have no fight.
Not true. Did the U.S. men's team used to win a lot of games? No, but they had that spirit, and I could identify it, and I could rally around it.
Okay, I suppose that's true. I mean, you're right about Deuce. My Brian McBride was fearless, but I don't know that he necessarily was the emotional center of the team as much. I don't know.
Talking about soft and cuddlies, hugging people.
I guess. I'm just trying to figure out, like, I don't want to put that on any of these young players who are trying to figure themselves out. I mean, I think if you had a coach...
you don't have to. I will. This sucks.
Okay, but if you had a coach who maybe was putting them in a better position to win and giving them responsibilities they could handle in those moments...
And this is a center back. Berhalter should be like... I don't understand why the center backs teaching us how to play the beautiful game here. Teach us how to get stuck in.
There's like a weird thing where that flips. Like goalkeepers want to play all-out attacking soccer. Center backs want to play not all-out, but they want to do a certain thing. They want to possess the ball. And then you have forwards who become the most defensive coaches ever when they get their first jobs, their second job. I don't know why that is, but that happens sometimes.
Mr. Superling has a fun fact for us.
Oh, we got a fun fact from Mr. Let's bring him on the air. He's been doing.
By the way, Booksmart was the movie. Thank you for Nick. I should have been checking the chat. Booksmart was the one with Beanie. What's her name? Jonah Hill's sister.
Okay. I didn't know Jonah Hill has a sister, much less the.
Yeah, they go by different last names.
Okay, she just doesn't want to be on the coattails of the Hills.
I don't know if one of them is I think maybe different. I don't know, maybe different half-parents, half-sisters. I don't know.
Is it a Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez situation?
I don't know if it's that or if it's just stage name stuff. I'm not sure which one it is.
How do I not have any minute work drops in this show? I don't know why I don't have any of those.
Minute work? Wow. I mean, because who else has seen that movie besides me and you?
Well, that's exactly why we should have those drops. We got to keep the memory alive.
Sound of trash cans getting emptied?
Yeah, there you go. Nick Superling is serving as our call screener and our producer and our do-it-all guy. It's fantastic. Listen to Cincinnati Soccer Talk. Nick, what's up, man? What you got?
Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. And welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Nick is actually going to be the first guest on our first bonus show, which we're going to record after this. Will be available a little later on.
Yeah.
For our Patreon subscribers, you'll get access to that content. It will be your soccer game show that we're going to be doing for certain Patreons at a certain level. And Nick will be our first guest on that tonight, so look for that as well.
Patreon.com/.
Is that what I signed up for?
Yeah, patreon.com/JD and the Rod. So, sorry, you were talking about it. I wanted to get the actual email or web address out there. I think we're past the halfway point to the first goal that I set, which is the Matador commentary track. We're going to watch Matador, at least first couple episodes. I don't know how deep we'll get into the season.
And there only is a couple episodes.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be fun. I think that would be really cool. So if we get to $1,000 a month from the Patreon page, then we can do that. So sign up for Patreon if you want. And again, get the bonus content. There are lots of cool perks there. Sorry, Nick, I stole your thunder. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. I got to thinking, the last time you guys recorded a show was back, I believe, May of 2016.
Okay.
And I just got to thinking how much MLS has changed since you guys wrapped up.
Okay.
They've since added 9 teams.
9.
Ugh, gross.
9.
Jared.
You got Minnesota, Atlanta, LAFC, my FC Cincinnati, Nashville, Miami, Austin, St. Louis, and this week Sacramento. Finally,
that's my hometown. I guess I'll say that right before we move
get
on.
Off that. It's not your hometown. How long did you live there?
2 months.
Okay, you can't claim that.
I was born in Sacramento, California.
You're like a Klinsman American call-up.
Quick, what's the area code in Sacramento? I got to claim it right now. I got to be like, what up?
If you don't know, you don't get to claim it.
Blah, till I die. Home. No, okay, I'm fine. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, that's
crazy to think about.
I talked about my take on this the other day. It's just like, it's like when you have too much, like, when you're between the sheets too much with your lady, at some point you just need to say, It's enough. I love this. It feels good, but I can't do another one right now. I need to hydrate. Give us some time, MLS. Let us live in this for a while. What are we working towards here? What's the magic number?
Jrodius.
You already know the answer to that. You made a reference to it earlier. The angles, the 6 and the.
You need 3 divisions of. You need 3 divisions of what is that? 23.
You can't get there. Can you get there? Oh yeah, you can. 60. I can't do math.
Your boy did some math on the fly.
That was brilliant. Yeah, 3 divisions of 23. Exactly. We need three an American League, a National League.
Trying to tell us?
It's code. There probably
this whole league is upside down.
What was the Jim Carrey movie where it was like the numerology thing where everything came back to number 24 or something like that? Isn't that what it is?
What?
26.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The number 26. And somebody back me up on this. There's a theory out there. It's like one of those like weird coincidence things where if you divide and add and subtract, you can do whatever, right? But there's one number that these people focus on. I think it's 26 or something. And Jim Carrey made a movie. It was very like a conspiracy theory type movie. And I know you've seen Conspiracy Theory.
I have.
Okay.
Mel Gibson's not so finest work.
I enjoyed that movie. I thought it was a reasonably good movie. Before I knew,
I mean, it's way too close to home these days, though. It's like almost like these things might actually be happening.
Right? No, that guy's just a normal guy now. The guy Mel Gibson played in that movie.
That guy has a show on Fox News now.
That's right. He's a regular guest on Hannity. Yeah. Did you have any other fun facts, Nick?
No, it was just that. Just going back and thinking about how much has changed since you guys wrapped up.
You know what else changed, Nick?
What's that?
We missed a effing World Cup.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We never missed a World Cup when the Best Soccer Show was on the air. I just want to say that right now. That never happened. We never missed a World Cup. We never lost to Canada when the Best Soccer Show was on the air. Not once did we lose to Canada during our run. That's why we had to come back.
Well, I don't think we lost to Canada in the years that Pulisic has been alive. Who was born in 85? Someone was born in 85, and that person feels bad now.
That's I mean, I don't remember the United States losing to Canada in 1985 because I was little and I wasn't paying attention to international soccer, and it probably wasn't even available to us. That's one of the things when people are like, oh, the last time this thing happened, it was 1966, and you're like, my brain won't even go to that place, like how far long ago that was, right? In the number, but there's no way to really appreciate how long ago that was.
Does that stop at the year you were born, you think? Does it get weird after that? Or is it even like you have to be alive for a few years before you can like identify really?
I mean, I think that, I don't know. I mean, because, I have lots of memories of the 80s, but I don't know if they're sort of
picture everything in the 70s as a pale yellow.
I think that's probably accurate. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm living in a house that was decorated in like 1972.
Do you have pink or green bathroom tile?
Oh, no. The bathrooms were vinyl and pink wallpaper, which we then had to scrape off.
Easy to wipe clean.
Oh, yeah. Easy to wipe clean, impossible to get off. If you want to get off the wall, you can take the wallpaper off the wall. I mean, I won't even tell. It was absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. All right.
That's an hour, guys, and it's 0-0 in the Seattle game. I wish we had something to talk about with that before we get off the air tonight, but Seattle and RSL are more than happy not to score right now.
Yeah, all right, let's do it before we go, since we talked a lot of soccer tonight, and I don't know if we caught up on everything. I want to just go through some of this, pull back the curtain and talk a little bit about what we got on the board here, since I've added some things. And this, again, if you guys are patrons, if you sign up at the Patreon page, you get access to the Slack. You're part of the conversations when I put out the call for new drops. And they do have to be earned, and I do want some organic stuff to happen, Jared, but I think it's cool to add things. By
the way, the Slack is the best thing I didn't know we needed. It has been fantastic to be able to interact with all the fans. It's like having your own personal, like, big soccer, that's just for us. It's like our own thread.
Yeah.
And it's just like a place for everyone that gets the same inside jokes. I've really, really enjoyed it. And so those of you guys that are in it, involved, taking part in the community, like, we have a community. I guess we always did, but it's now we have a clubhouse. It's like the Little Rascals, and there's a sign on the outside of the door that says like He-Man Women Haters Club or something like that. Except we love the ladies and they're in there too. But it's just like we have our own clubhouse.
I think that the one of the biggest things about getting us started again, I was always pushing for it because I miss talking to you about soccer every week.
Aww.
I know. And then I also missed that community element because it definitely was there before, and we probably didn't do nearly nearly as good a job as we could have of pulling everybody together and giving us all a place to be, fans of this game and enjoy our own little thing here. All right, so that being said, again, patreon.com/JD and the Rod if you want to be part of that. And you use $3 a month, they'll get you into the Slack. And then there's other perks throughout the other tiers that you can check out, including bonus feed, which we're going to do some stuff tonight and some other things. But I wanted to go through these real quick, Jared. So we didn't get to it tonight. Maybe we'll get to it next week. A little... Do you know what that is?
It sounds like a bad version of Airwolf's theme song.
No, it's the Miami Vice theme song is what that is.
Oh.
It was a little loud. I didn't turn it down. I should have turned it down a little bit before I played it. But that's the Miami Vice theme song. I figure we're going to talk some Miami at some point on this show. Let's see. What else do I got that I added? This is all the old stuff. Still got that one. Got this one in case things get better for the national team.
Oh, it's incredible!
I don't know. We've already
don't hold on to it.
We've already played this one.
What are we doing?
Which I've added this time around because that did not exist the last time we were on the air.
The horror show.
Neither did that one. The loss to Canada. Let's see. You got the Inapropes. Got those on here naturally, of course.
Jrodius.
I put this one on the board.
That's him, Iceman.
Which is Top Gun 2's coming. We're going to talk about that, I'm sure. We figured out that you did create that for Aaron Johansson, who might come to MLS. He's been taken off the allocation list.
Oh, he has to go to Minnesota, right?
I mean, I don't know, just because it's cold there.
It's north of the wall.
Okay. I already played the Sin City, the long version. This one,
They're back.
is just a short one that says they're back. I wanted to put on here. I got this.
3 words for you. Treat yourself.
We used to play the song, but that referenced
2011.
11. That was a long time ago. I added.
We're old, dude.
We added that for Zlatan. I got the 2 Wonder Boys, which I've played already. I played this is somebody suggested this in the Slack, and I apologize, I don't have the name in front of me. It's when Ian Dark did that ad for ESPN where it was like he was calling a date. Do you remember that, Jared?
Oh yeah, I think I do.
So that's what this is.
Oh, would you look at that? An absolute firecracker.
So that's him describing the woman in the date. I haven't played this one tonight.
Playing hot dogs and donuts with 2 fangirls in the locker room.
Okay, that's that one's not a new edition, but I wanted to get there. We got the Jesse Marshes.
Yeah? So viel respect for the Gegner.
I think Jared asked me to do this one.
Don't call it a comeback.
There's that. How about that? So, Jared, once upon a time, you came to me and you said, I want to grab this clip from Tombstone where there's the smoke wagons and the skinning, and I didn't understand it. I never did. You explained it to me on our last pre-launch show. Somebody suggested this from Tombstone. You tell me how you feel about this.
You tell him I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
What do you think of that?
I love the line. I'm not sure how we use it, but
we'll
I
figure
love
it
the
out.
line.
We'll figure it out. We're coming at everybody. I don't know. We're coming to the national team. We're coming at Ernie Stewart. Hell's coming with us.
Oh yeah, when we got
like
our
that.
pitchforks and our torches.
Yeah, there it is. All right, we're over an hour. That's a great way to start. I mean, I'm ecstatic that we're back. I think this is going to be very, very fun. We're on iTunes, we're on Stitcher, we're on TuneIn, we're on Spotify. We're everywhere you can get your podcast. I've already made sure of that.
Hopefully we're doing some strategic partnerships that hopefully we can talk about soon too.
Yeah, we're going to do some crossover stuff with some very cool soccer people that are already out there doing it. We got to climb back to the top of the mountain. There are already people up there. We want to join them, but we have to climb. We have to get there again. So we
have to etch off their faces on Mount Rushmore and spray paint ours on.
Yeah, I don't want to take anybody down. I just want to join the
hell's
party.
coming with me, Jason.
Okay, that's true. All right, Mr. Dubois, anything else to add before we go?
I think that's it, guys. You can follow us on Twitter at JD and the Rod. You can follow me on Twitter at Jrodius. My man Jason at DavisJSN. Also, check him out daily on SiriusXM, United States of Soccer. I know he hates that I'm saying that right now, but do it. It's a good show. And then also Patreon. Please, guys, it's a great way to support the show. It means that we can keep coming back and we can keep doing this because, honestly, it is something that's necessary for Jason and I to be able to invest the time. And it feels like coming home again. It's been really nice so far.
We're going to be able to do more stuff and add more elements and more bonus stuff the more we get people involved in the Patreon. So that's why that's there. Everybody go do that, and we'll see you next week.
Iceman.
I wouldn't be caught dead in a sweater vest. Or hello.
Get to the chopper! The horror show, the horror show, the horror show, the horror show.
What are we doing? What are we doing? Ja, zu viel Respekt für die Gegner.
Jrodius.